I don't know how many people in my audience really know that much about VTuber supporters. I've talked about it a little bit on stream before, but I consider myself to be a VTuber supporter. Hell, I'm a moderator of the VTuber supporter Discord server, basically where we keep in touch with each other of updates of problematic people or tweets that we want to post more of, give more exposure to, give more engagements to. Personally, I think VTuber supporters do provide a very helpful service, so to speak. Like, oh, Epic Mind was your first experience with a V supporter, so you're wary. I understand, but like, he's trying to co-opt our imaging, so to speak. Because like, the majority of us just enjoy VTuber content. We want to see VTubers do better. We want to see them get more exposure and all that. We're more than happy to get tagged in tweets to, retweet and spread awareness of other creators. The majority of us don't actually have very big platforms on our own, but a lot of us are kind of mutuals with people that have their own audiences and stuff. And, well, a tag list for VTuber supporters, like where you have a whole bunch of us together and you're announcing like a debut or a smasher pass or whatever have you, and calling in the V supporters really helps boost your engagement to maximize the eyes on your event coming up or whatever you're announcing. And that's really goddamn important in my opinion. Like, it's a very helpful thing to have. But then there's also some stigma about us, like just doing it for clout, and I don't think that really holds water as an argument personally. Just my 2 cents. But the majority of us, well, we want to see more content of VTubers. We like it. So we do what we can to help out the beings we like. So if you're on Twitter and you want to announce something, you're more than welcome to @me, tag me directly. You're more than welcome to use the hashtag #SuperSassySupportSquad, which a lot of us do tend to check that hashtag specifically. It's a way to call in the supporters without kind of pushing pushing a retweet on us, because like a lot of us will retweet stuff, but then there are all of us have our own boundaries. Like, I personally don't retweet going live tweets because I personally think it's a waste of time. I think it's way more effective to, only really focus on the debuts, the events that go around, the bigger spectacles, rather than just going live every single time. That's just my personal opinion. I'll retweet basically anything, really, or not particularly anything. There's a handful of stuff that I'm not going to retweet, but I mean, that's my opinion. That's my personal choice to make, whether or not I'll actually retweet it. But whether or not I will actually retweet it, you're still more than welcome to ask for it, because like, I do want people to get more engagement on their stuff they're proud of, the stuff they're working hard on. That's just what I want to do. That's just how I do. There are some people that do kind of use us for clout, which, I mean, it's going to happen one way or another, whether or not we're actively fighting back against it. like just recently, I don't feel like calling out names specifically because this happens enough. It's broad enough that like I don't think I'm going to be able to ever stop it. But essentially, it was somebody that followed me. Initially, I had followed them back. They seemed interesting. We engaged a tiny little bit. I did some retweeting for them, and then they kind of stopped asking for retweets. And it's like, oh, okay. And then just recently, I get a follow and somebody asking for retweets, and it was this person from back at the end of 2022. And like, I get why people do it. I'm not personally bothered by it too much. Just kind of a dick move. Like, especially if you're only tagging me for going live tweets, because like I'm not going to retweet those. Though there are others that will do it. But yeah, there is a resource out there for small VTubers that would like to get help with engagement on their Twitter, help get more traction there. There are people that'll build up that traction using the engagement from the V supporters, and then they just kind of stop using that once they get enough engagement on Twitter. So like the engagements given by the supporters can really help boost your reach with Twitter and all that. But then if you go away for a while, you're like gone for a week or so, then your engagement kind of falls off, and then it really feels like you're shadow banned kind of thing. So it makes sense why people occasionally come back to using V supporters. It's pretty obvious it's only about that clout grab, so to speak, when you're like following and then soft blocking and then following again later. And it's like, shit happens. I mean, I've stepped away from Twitter for like a month at one point. But hey, I mean, the engagement comes back if you know what you're doing, really. I mean, yeah. If you want to get a little help with your announcements, with your engagements on Twitter, you want to drop a fun little engagement bait of like, drop your PNG, I'll assign a Pokemon type to you. I'll fucking retweet that. That's fun as shit. I'll engage with that. I'll drop my PNG too. I think it's funny. And like, that's a perfectly great way to build that Twitter engagement to maximize the number of eyes on you. It doesn't hurt anybody. It's just kind of fun engagement. I personally think we do need a little bit more of that. And I know the irony of me saying that with like the kind of content I put out. I mean, that's kind of the nature of the Twitterverse, so to speak. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe for more content, and if you want to join the community, feel free to check out the Discord. I love to voice chat in there, so if you want to ever talk, I'm usually available. Well, in the afternoons.